Hey Google, are you our friend?
Sure. To help you with that, I need your permission to allow assistant personal results on this device.
It wants a lot of permissions. And see, if Google needs all these permissions just to communicate with us, when the Federal Reserve decides to set off their app, the federal, what's it called, FedNow app, what kind of permissions you think they want? You know, everybody's saying, "Oh, they're already doing this. They're already doing it with Facebook. They're already doing it with." Sure, but think about how much they are asking for permissions now. Do you think that the Fed app is going to ask for less permissions? Absolutely not. They're going to want permissions to your house, to your deeds, to your banks. They're going to want permission to your inheritance, to your cash reserves. They're going to want to know how much gold you got. They're going to want to know your crypto, your blockchain. They want your keys because if you ain't got your keys, you ain't got your crypto.
Well, Capital One's already doing this.
Nobody's got your keys.
Capital One always asks their famous question, what's in your pocket?
Oh, they're asking, but they're not demanding it.
No, they still respect your boundaries.
Yeah, but you think the Fed app it will? You think the Fed app is going to do it?
I think they want to know as much as Capital One knows.
Hey, Google, is the Federal Reserve working on an app called the Fed app? The FedNow app?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
I didn't think so.
She doesn't know what you're talking about.
That's because...
Or she's been contacted.
That's right. Two. I'm going to try one more time. Hey, Google, do you know what the FedNow app is?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, see, and you think that they're not all interconnected working in cahoots? I mean, this is Google. We can do a Google search, and clearly we could find this. But why won't the Google Now assistant tell us this information?
She doesn't want us to know. She's probably mocking us right now.
Oh, I already know that. That's what I'm trying to tell people. They need to realize how interconnected all these systems are. And eventually, the more we depend on these systems, the more we're going to just be ignorant because they won't tell us the information. It's all out there, but right now we can manually search it. But one of these days, when we can't and everything's digital, like maybe the contact lens, maybe just listening to all these assistant devices, they're just going to be like, oh, we can't help you. Oh, that doesn't exist. Oh, no.
Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson, Lord willing, it's edifying. And so, yeah, this is going to be an update on, Mark of the Beast update, end time prophecy update, because this is big news. This is real big news. The Fed is rewiring the U.S. payment system. Here's what that means for you. This is off of a news break. So I pretty much got a notification on my phone about this, waking up, and the Spirit immediately got on me to look into it a little bit. And, I'll be doing more research, but I just want to bring this out briefly, what this FedNow app is and the date estimates that they're giving on when it's going to launch. And just some article. I got another article after this, dealing with the importance of it. As we know, this could be a separate lesson in itself, but the Silicon Valley Bank, collapsed on Friday. And that's really big news. But along with this and just everything, how we know how everything plays out in, what do they say, in a domino effect. It's always one thing after the next. And next thing you know, we're in some new system and people don't even know how we got here. But see, the prophets, the men of the Lord, the prophets of Israel, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, we always paying attention to these things, these little details, and the Spirit always has us catch these things. So this is just an article from Newsbreak. It says it could take days to transfer money or make payments from your bank account, even as apps like Venmo, Cashapp, and Zelle make such transactions nearly instant. That's because the federal government has no digital payment system for the entire banking system to utilize in real time, but that's about to change. You got to go back to March of 2022. All right, President Joe Biden signed executive order or House resolution 14067. The centralizing of digital assets, the government centralizing of digital assets. Well, this FedNow app is a big part of that. All right, this is going to be a big part of the CBDC and how people use CBDCs to make everyday, regular, common transactions in this world, in society. And remember, it's not just in America. This is a centralized digital system. They spoke about this at Davos 2023. This is a global effort here. This is not just America. This is happening all over the world, in all countries, in all nations, all over the planet. You have a website called the CBDC Tracker, right? And on that website, it tells you that 95% of the world's GDP is digital currency, digital assets. All right, it's not physical cash anymore. So we're already in this system. We're not entering into a digital, we're already in a digital system. Think about how many times a day you actually use cash, or I'll say it like this. You actually need to use cash. Maybe you still use it because you have it, but you don't need to use it anymore. There's nobody that only said we only take cash, but there are companies that only take digital payments. All right, maybe your rent. I mean, I know like my phone bill, I can go into T-Mobile and pay cash, but why would I do that if I could just get on the app and they could take it directly out of my bank account? So they've already intertwined this banking system into all fabrics of life, and it's called the Internet of Things, smart cities. Elder Apostle Tahar brought it out, years ago, and he still makes mention of it. All right, Internet of Things. It's all connected already, and that's the video that I played in the beginning. It's just a brief understanding of it. How comes that Google Now Assistant couldn't even? I don't know what you're talking about. How the hell you don't know what is a FedNow app? When I Googled it and I found information myself, like he said, when I manually Googled it, I found certain articles and certain information that's crucial to the way that we, communicate with this society, so to speak, in the terms of what? Buying and selling, making transactions. See, let me just finish this article, man. But I don't know how a person could believe or even teach, let alone teach, that the mark of the beast is sin, that the mark of Revelation 13 is something spiritual. When what do we use to buy and sell right now? We're using Federal Reserve currencies in the form of what? US dollars, but we're not even using physical dollars no more. It's all in your bank account. It's on an app. It's all being digitally wired, right? You're getting direct deposit paychecks from your job or whatever. So how the fuck could we be using sin to buy and sell? What do we use to buy and sell right now? Your phone mainly. Your phone, man. RFID technology. That's what we're using to buy and sell, man. And eventually that's going to translate to the microchip. The human implantable microchip implant. Well, I said implantable already, but you get my point. The Federal Reserve plans to launch its own real-time payment system called the FedNow service this summer. And they talking about from any time between May and July. This system is supposed to go live. Though FedNow is years behind tech-based private sector competitors, it will be a game changer for transactions in the U.S. It will be the first and only digital instant payment system that is both created and backed by the government. As a result, many banks will see it as a larger, safer system able to transfer money faster for consumers and businesses. So this is your introduction to CBDC here, man. That's what this FedNow app is. FedNow will enable all the banks, any bank in the United States, not just the big ones, to offer instantly available funds and real-time payments to their customers. All right. What is FedNow? FedNow is the first government-created system for financial institutions to send and receive funds almost instantly. Ideally, FedNow would ensure you no longer have to wait a few business days or bid your time over holidays or weekends to receive your money. So they always paint these pictures as if it's some convenience. Why they don't tell you the important details? Well, you might use a FedNow app to pay your mortgage, so we're going to need all your information on your mortgage. We're going to need every bit of information that you have available, we're going to need that. Oh, you want to pay your phone bill? We need your phone numbers. We need all your information, your address. That's what this really is, man. More control for the government. But they're going to paint a picture as, oh, it's very convenient. It's safer. It's more insured. You know, you're going to have less fraud because the government is involved. So, you know, people are going to take less chances on trying to, you know, commit fraud and things like that. Nah, man. The government is the biggest fraud in history. The government is the biggest criminals in history. The U.S. government, the most corrupt government in the world. The hell you think they got your best interest in mind for? Why do you have this idea in your head? Maybe they put it there. So it says that means you can make payments, your mortgage, for example, ideally within seconds. You could opt to send funds on the due date rather than have to plan several days out for an online payment to clear, or up to a week for a check to be processed. So yeah, pay us quicker. That's what they basically saying. You know, we don't want to wait. Just as soon as you have your payment is due, you pay it right away, or we'll take it. For business owners too, this means faster and smoother operations. They will be able to send and receive invoice payments, for instance, in real time online. So man, this is basically that beast system, man. That's all it is. Another block, another brick in the beast system. This was an article, you know, like I went back, I said, what is FedNow? FedNow is coming in 2023. You know, I found a couple of articles. I just decided to click on that particular article through the spirit because it says FedNow expected to launch between May and July of this year will be the central bank's new core instant payment infrastructure. And what infrastructure is that? The CBDC, man. The central bank digital currencies that they're getting ready to implement, I guess, sometime this month, allegedly. March 2023, that's what we've heard, but we'll see. All right, money in 2023. This is from WSGR, Wilson Sonsini. What tech companies need to know about instant payments and FedNow? Technology companies in the payment space should pay close attention to the Federal Reserve's upcoming launch of a long-awaited new payment system, the FedNow service. The system will change the consumer payments landscape by providing a new instant payment alternative to existing retail payment rails. I just want to look up that word landscape real quick. In context, it would be the second definition, which really not even. It just says scenery. I don't know. Landship. There's not really much on this, you know, Oxford definition, but pretty much they're going into what the infrastructure, you know, they're changing the infrastructure of how we buy and sell, man. This is literally prophecy, bro. This is prophecy, bro. How the fuck does nobody see this, man? I'm talking about you Israelites out there, man. Of you other camps. How the hell you don't see this? You can't be this blind, bro. There's no way. There's no way, bro. Unless the only way is that Yahweh Shem Shai blinded you. It's either that or you took the bag, man. And it's more so leaning on you took the bag. You people must have took the bag, man. You know that it's the mark of the beast. You know that what it is, but you just don't. You can't speak on it. You've been given a gag order. It's no way, man. It's no way somebody's going to be able to see all this information coming out on the news and the transformation of this, you know, of the society to this digital payment system, and you cannot see that the mark of the beast, the prophecy of Revelation 13 and 16, I'm going to read it, that's the RFID chip, that this was going to basically be the glue to mesh all of this together. The chip is basically going to be the mediator between the central bank's digital assets and you, and how you interact with these digital assets. Come on, man. The system will change. I read that. It is rare for the U.S. central bank to build a wholly new payment rail. And importantly, the U.S. government has announced its backing for instant payment systems. FedNow promises to both pose challenges to fintech companies whose business models depends on activity over existing payment rails and offer key new opportunities to innovators in the space. So what are they saying? They're going to do away with Cashapp, Zelle, Venmo, Apple Cash, Google Cash, or whatever it's called, Android Pay, whatever the hell it's called. They're going to do away with that. They're not going to make it a law. Oh, this is illegal now. But why would anyone use anything else when the government itself has their own app, which is the most safest? Why would anyone use anything else? It's the quickest. It's the safest. Why would anyone use Cash App still anymore? You know how many people are getting scammed on Cash App every day and Venmo? They're going to say, no, I got to use this FedNow. Like I said, all these businesses, why would they take any other chance other than using the government-backed app? Think about it, man. These people are very crafty in the way they do things. They're not going to just come outright and just expose themselves, but if you have eyes to see, all right, if Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is truly dealing with you, you know, you should be able to see this, man. All right, it says these new drivers and risks will be important considerations for many players in the market and critical to their success. Let's get the prophecy, man. I'm going to go back to the article and read up a little more. The key words is that this launch of this app, it says, is going to be critical to their success, to success of businesses. Why? Because that's going to be the only system that's going to be used for buying and selling. All right? So if they don't get on board, they're not going to make it, so to speak. They're going to become obsolete to the system. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all. The he is talking about the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. That's his biblical identity. And he's also known as Satan and the devil, all right, in the Bible. But mainly we're talking about their elites, their central bankers, because those are the people that rule the world. The Federal Reserve is not even a legitimate branch of the U.S. government. It's not even a legal branch. It's not in law. But how do they have this much power to recreate or rewire our economy like this? How? How do they have the power to do that? Who's giving it to them? The same people that's giving them the funds, the cash, the moolah, the dinero, the U.S. dollars, which is what? The central bankers. Those are the ones with power. And Mayor Amschel Bauer, I forgot what year he said it, or when he said it, or now formerly known as Bowers, now presently known as the Rothschilds. What did he say? Give me power over a nation's economy, and I care not who makes the law. Because who's going to make the law at the end of the day anyways? Wherever you're getting your damn money from. If you don't have no economy to circulate your society and your citizens or whatever, your cities, what fucking laws does it matter that you make anyways? You need a functioning currency, a functioning economy to do anything in a nation, right? In a country, in a kingdom. So whoever has the money got the power, man. All right, Proverbs 22:7, the borrower is servant to the lender and the rich rule over the poor. What do you think this whole economic system is based off of? Debt, man. Borrowing from the central banks. What the hell you think an interest rate is? It's usury. The Bible speaks against usury. These people are the devil, man. They're wicked, and they've plunged the world into Ibatyat in the Hebrew, which is Habakkuk 2:5, thick clay, man. Thick clay, which is depths, heavy depths. This is how they gain control over the world's resources and over the people, through putting everybody in debt, collecting the natural resources for themselves while you are using fucking monopoly money, man, fiat currency. They duped everybody, man. And now they have a new system that they want to bring, which is not new because they've already been working on this and been playing out for centuries, man, which is to microchip you. They want to microchip you. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What the hell you think that's talking about? Your right hand is talking about a hand chip. Your forehead is talking about a brain chip. All right, Neuralink, Synchron. Who's backing up these countries? Billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. They're using their billions of dollars to fund experiments or trials on human brain implantable chips. or brain computer interfaces, man. To do what? To link you in with the Federal Reserve, man, and the digital currencies that they're getting ready to launch, the CBDCs, the FedNow. It's all going to come together. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you won't be able to do anything because you're going to be locked out of the system if you do not have that conduit, that mediator, all right, to make the transaction possible between you and the digital currency and the merchant or whoever, the business. You see, that's going to be the mediator. That's going to be the God of this world, the microchip. Because without that, you would not be able to access their newly designed digital infrastructure that they're creating. You won't be able to access it. You won't be able to buy and sell. Because the buying and selling is going to be done through what? CBDC. Right now, how do we buy and sell? Is it fucking sin? Do we use sin to buy and sell? Do we use philosophy to buy and sell? You people are fucking morons, man. What do we use to buy and sell? We use central bank currency. If you haven't realized by now, what do we use to buy and sell right now? Central bank currency. What are we going to use to buy and sell in the future? Not we per se, but what is the world going to use? It's going to have to be something that the central bank is going to issue. And yes, you could say it's CBDC, but the mark itself is not CBDC, but that's what's going to be the currency on the mark. The mark is going to allow you to use the CBDC. That's why I said it's going to be a mediator. And that mark is none other than the microchip implant. Let's read some more on this article, and that's going to be the lesson there. The Fed's instant payments platform. And instant payment is a new type of payment from one bank account to another, where the recipient receives final funds in near real time, enabled by immediate interbank settlement of the payment. This means there is no buildup in interbank obligations, and end users can instantly send and receive money. Oh, buy and sell. That's what send and receive is another way of saying buy and sell. This is an improvement to payments via credit or debit cards and automatic clearinghouse, ACH, which come with higher costs or delays to receiving final funds, FedNow, expected to launch between May and July of this year, 2023, will be the central bank's new core instant payment infrastructure. It will process retail payments in real time, buying 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with funds made available immediately for use by the recipient of the payment. Selling. All right. Eligibility to participate in the new system will generally be limited to U.S. banks. These banks, in turn, would offer instant payment services to individuals and businesses. The new system is a much-needed upgrade to the national infrastructure for retail payments, which is currently closed on weekends and can at times take several days before funds are available. The Fed's ultimate aim is a microchip. Is to give consumers and merchants faster access to their funds and greater flexibility to manage cash flow at low cost and with reduced payment risk. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to keep, reading. I'll post these articles, the link to these articles in the description, underneath the video, so you could check it out. Do more research on it. You brothers do videos on it too, because I haven't really heard of this, and it was just on, it said March 8th. March 8th at the, the Federal Reserve Board meeting or whatever, that they actually made mention of it at the meeting. But this has been out, it goes back to 2 years. When I looked it up on YouTube, I saw videos dated 2 years ago talking about the FedNow app. So this is nothing new, man. It's kind of new to me. And, just through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, it has to come out, all right, for the elect, because we have to understand the times that we're living in and know what this devil is doing, man. He's very crafty. He's very subtle. But the scriptures say if it were possible, he could deceive the very elect, but he can't. All right, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, which is noema in the Greek, which means his evil purposes, his intentions. We know what this all leads to, man. Revelation 13, 16, and 17. So with that, I'm going to say, Call Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai. Hope and pray you were edified through the Rakach Wadash. And Lord willing, I'll see you in the next lesson. Shalom.